Hello, everybody. How are you going? Welcome to the Pathwaves 2021 launch, our first kind of live launch event on YouTube. Very excited to be here. My name is Jane Anderson. Thank you for joining me. I'm a little bit nervous, actually. That countdown kind of amped me up there a little bit. So welcome to everyone. Why don't we kick off, just so I know there's a few people out there where are you from in the world? I can see there's a few people on the chat. So why don't you, just to get things kicked off, tell me where you are. Where are you in Berlin? Are you in Australia maybe, or India, or the US? Let me know where you're tuning in from, and we'll get things kicked off. So as you know, kind of as a precursor to that, the vibe for tonight. So the idea is to launch the program, to give a full kind of overview about what the event is going to look like, talk about the application process, and in so doing, like, I want it to be interactive, because I guess you're here because you have some questions or you're interested to apply to the program. So please, like, throw in all the questions as you have them, and I'll do a live cross. Actually, I'm going to try it out. I'm trying new streaming software tonight, so let's see how we go. We've got Moira. Is this coming up? Oh, no, and Andrea from Berlin. What's up? We've got Moira from Berlin. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Brass Neck is excited. What's up, Brass Neck? Thanks for joining. Awesome. Okay, really cool. Nice to see you there. Some familiar faces there. Thanks for the peeps for joining in and supporting. We've got Orla in Ireland. I wonder if that's an Orla that I might know in Ireland. There are a few Orlas in Ireland. Welcome, Orla. Thanks for joining, mate. Awesome. Okay, so it's always exciting to know that the stream works and to know that, like, we can communicate via chat. So that's the first thing. So really cool. I'm very excited to do this. Let's just, like, kick into it, because time flies. So there will be a presentation. I'll try and keep it fun. Throw your questions in as they come up. We're going to have a few special guests today. Hang on, I lost my page there. A few special guests will join us. But today is all about an overview, an intro to the team, talk about the online program, discuss the studio week and what that is, and importantly, talk about the application process, because the application process is different this year and it's quite specific. So I want everyone to really understand it. And as I say there, we've also got some special guests that are going to join us as a bit of an experiment today. So technology willing, we'll have some special guests. So looking forward to that. All right. So let's first talk about, maybe I'll make myself a little bit bigger. Okay, so intro to the team, and just kind of give people a bit of an overview about what's going on, what's going on behind the scenes, I guess. So the important thing to say is that we're sponsored by Music Board Berlin. We couldn't do this without the support of government bodies like this, and it's really important to me that people think it's a valuable thing to invest money in, because for many years it really wasn't. So very many thanks to Music Board Berlin for that. Ooh, I'm all pink already. We also have some financial sponsors, and tonight this is presented by BIM Institute, and I work at BIM Institute, as some of you may know, and I wanted to kind of have a specific shout out about this. Obviously they're supporting us and sponsoring us, and that's really important. But the other thing that I really wanted to make a point of is that as the college is growing really quickly, and it's an amazing institution, and I really encourage you to check it out. One of the things that we see is that we're not getting the production school where I teach is mainly guys. So I would really, I just want to take this moment in this platform to urge people to if you ever have thought about studying production and you think, oh, I don't know if I can, or I don't know if I'm good enough, or whatever, please, you follow that urge through and really go for it. Because, people investing their time and into production is really, this is Pathwaves is a part of the whole package, but really people investing time and studying is important. And there are many students that I have that are studying songwriting that have said to me, oh, I wish I'd have studied production. So if you think you're into production, go for it. Please do study production, because we need more of you. Yeah. All right. Our other sponsors that we have Ableton, Native Instruments and Atom Audio, who have been our partners in crime for the duration of the initiative, and we're really excited about that. We also have Focusrite, Novation, Isotope, and Melodyne. So with all these brands, now I'm not just like throwing out sponsor names just for the sake of it. I also want to bring it forward because, part of being a producer is using and being technologically savvy with different pieces of gear, equipment, and all that, software and stuff like that. So one of the things that's important for me in part of the Pathwaves initiative is to make sure that we have partnerships with key brands that are going to come with us as we support the development of our community. Part of it is access and supporting educational initiatives. Another part is through them offering, gear and software and hardware, which they do. So we have various kinds of giveaways and incentive prizes and things like that throughout the initiative. There'll be Ableton giveaways and Melodyne giveaways and Focusrite Innovation, some Native Instruments stuff, some Isotope stuff. So there's lots of really, obviously everyone wants free stuff, but the more serious comment about that is that, marginalised people, marginalised genders generally have less socioeconomic advantages. So this is an important aspect for me as well. So thank you to the sponsors, and definitely join the streams if you want to get some free gear and stuff like that. Okay. So mentors. So introducing our mentors, we're going to have hopefully a live cross to some of our mentors. And this year I'm really, really excited to welcome Katie Stelmanis from Alstra, she's a Canadian-bound Alstra who has received a lot of success in Europe and specifically in Germany. So I'm very excited to have her, and she's really renowned for her vocal production skills. And I can't wait to get inside some of her productions and see what she does. She will be joining us a little later for a bit of a chat, so that's exciting. We also have Nina Mixtet, who is an amazing, technically brilliant mix engineer who hails from the Netherlands, and she's a hip hop specialist, and she's going to do a drum mixing workshop with a live Q&A happening as well. So that's going to be really exciting. Then you have little old me. I will be also part of the mentor team. My specialization crosses production and mixing. I'll be taking the mixing masterclass, and I'll also be part of the vocal production session as well. And I'll be in the studio week as well. We also have, there's a big question mark there. We also have a very exciting mentor that I hope to be able to announce soon, but we can't quite announce it yet. But this person will be joining us in the studio event in December, and I sit tight for that, and I hope to be able to announce that very, very soon. All right, so I also, before we kind of get into the studio program, I just wanted to take a minute to give a big up to the team this year. There's an amazing team that's working with us to kind of put this all together. And I think it's particularly important and special for me is that the thing about Pathwaves is one part of it is about development of networks and community, and it's really important if we're going to kind of try and change the industry is for us to build networks and relationships with each other, professional as well as obviously social and stuff like that. So many of the team that are working with the initiative this year were past participants, so that really speaks volumes for it, and I'm really, really proud to have them on board. All of them are sound and music professionals, so we're all in it together. We're all passionate about sound, and I hope that everyone who's wanting to become a participant to get into the program just feels as though they're part of the wider community. So thanks to Andrea, V, Molly, Ash, Ali and Vez, who are all working with me to bring it together. Yes. All right. So let's get into it. Now, the online program. The online program is running from, well, kind of officially it started today, actually. Maybe I'll just change the view here. All right, so the online program starts today. The first official event is next week, and the event is speed networking. And I'll talk a little more about speed networking a little later, but we have over the next 3 months, there's going to be like one event per week. So that's kind of on average. If there's not an event, there'll be a deadline or an announcement or something like that. So the events are going to be in the evening, between 7 and 8 o'clock. We did that on purpose for people that have to work. Obviously, we all have jobs and things like that. And importantly, the events are free for everyone in the community to attend. And, obviously when I say community, I'm meaning we're focusing on female and gender non-conforming, Flinter people. So everyone can join. Please, we really encourage you to join. This is people, doesn't matter where you are in the world, as long as you're awake, you're welcome to join the online program. If you are also, maybe you're just beginning, maybe you don't know if you're ready to kind of go to the studio event. This is one of the reasons why we created the online program is to really try and help more people have access to the educational stuff and to the networks and to have, the visibility of the community at large kind of built up. So really, we hope everyone gets into it. And all the events are free in terms of free, no cash, no money, welcome for everyone to get involved with and don't cost anything. So there's a really amazing program I've put together with people that are within our community who are brilliant at what they do. And I'm really looking forward to sharing it with all of you. So, yeah. I might also just add as well, though it is free, there is registration required for some of the events because we're going to have limited spaces. So it's important that you register if you want to get involved in these events. And I hope you do. All right, so let's keep on rolling. So this is the program. You might kind of just want to know more about what exactly it is. And this is the program. Now, I don't expect you to read all of that necessarily, but you can now go through on our website. There's a link to the program booklet and where you'll see this and you can have a downloadable version of this. And at a glance, just to give you info about it, from today, Monday the 13th, until the Friday, December the 17th, we will be doing different events. As I said, we've spaced it out. We don't want it to be stressy. We want you to enjoy it. We don't want it to take over your life necessarily. But it's a way for you to kind of keep connected and, and build up the networks and get insight into production and other technical processes within the context of your day-to-day life. Also, we hope that this online program is going to help people who would like to apply for the studio event to be able to get their application to the best so they really have the highest chance of being accepted. Because we have lots and lots of applications in the last 2 years. And we noticed that we maybe were giving people maybe it was confusing. And maybe people didn't understand exactly what we were angling at. So, the really important thing that I want to, make a kind of a strong point is that it's about collaboration. It's about, I kind of changed my screen there. But it's about collaboration. It's about working together to create, in a kind of a commercial environment, to create commercially ready music for release. Genre independent, obviously, whatever genre you feel like doing. But we really want to focus on professionalism and really high quality. So the online program is the precursor to the studio event. So back to the online program. Some people might say, okay, where do I sign up? Where are the links? What do I do? So for all of the links are in the program booklet on the previous page. Okay, so all of these links here are all, these all here are hyperlinks, and you'll link straight to either the registration page or the YouTube or whatever. Beyond that, if you're not one who wants to be over the whole program all the time and you just want to check it out from week to week, our link tree on Instagram, as you can see on the right there, is going to be updated with links, what's happening in each week, basically what's coming up. So Instagram and our website is a place to go to get all the info about all of that. So yeah. All right. Now, so as a summary, I didn't ask permission for these two for posting their picture, but we were experimenting with the speed networking sessions, and I'm really excited about these, and I really hope that people get into this stuff because it's just, it's fun and it's a little bit crazy. You kind of have speed networking, you have 3 minutes to, hang on, I'll change the view there. You have 3 minutes to chat with someone in a kind of like a Zoom type situation, and you've got like 2 or 3 minutes, depending on what we set up, and you just kind of introduce yourself, talk a little bit, and then exchange details. And so it's a kind of a fun, I don't know about you, but I used to be really scared about networking. So this is a fun kind of way for us to meet each other, like share details and find other people that you might want to work with. So one of the things about the application process is that it's important for producers to find artists, songwriters, top line bands or whatever to produce, to help bring their song to life in the studio. And the producer also needs to work with an engineer that can work in a commercial studio. So a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know anyone. Like, how will I figure this out? So this is why we put the speed networking session together, to really help people make those connections so that they can make amazing collaborative work, basically. Okay, so we have live streams like what's happening right now. The live streams in the future will be really, very specific focus. So we've got, mixing and production Q&A with Nina mixed it in the next couple of weeks. We have a vocal production workshop presented by Ableton featuring Katie Stelmanis, and then we have a mixing masterclass towards the end of the program in November. Then the final thing we have is producer workshops, which are going to happen on Zoom. And these producer workshops are, again, like a registration situation, a smaller group where producers can get together and like knowledge share, basically. Excuse me. So the idea of this is that, I don't know, maybe you want someone to listen to your track. You want to get some feedback. Maybe you're having a trouble with something and you want a little bit of technical advice. Maybe you are having some kind of interpersonal challenges with the singer that you're working with. You're kind of butting heads and you can't figure out how to solve it. So it's just, the idea is that, again, I don't know about you, but I've spent a lot of time by myself, isolated and not really having a community to share problems with. So, so that's the idea about this. So for people to get together, have a chat, check it out, share work, share tips, whatever it might be. And those will be led by Molly and Vez, who are two past participants and amazing producers and musicians in their own right. All right, awesome. So, hi, who have we got here? We've got Knockine on the stream. Yes, hello. Oh, we've got Lane. I put the wrong one up. Hi, Lane. Thanks for joining, mate. Knockine. Yeah. Hello, how's it going? Awesome. Charlie is in the house. Charlie Palco. Yes. Hey, what's up? Welcome. Cool. Okay. So yes. So I think the link is in the, Ali's put the link in there. So sign up there. I'll also be activating. In fact, maybe I'll do it right now. I'm going to make the speed networking live on our Linktree. So that should now be active on our Linktree on Instagram. So V is asking, is this year's program, hang on, I'll just pull this up. Is this program for all musicians or only for producers? Thank you for that question. The program is for everyone to participate because everyone is needed to create a song, right? So the application program. The application process is only for producers. I'm going to get into that a little bit later to streamline it. But the idea is that groups of people get together, collaborate, make music, and we facilitate the collaboration, and we also facilitate the studio environment and any kind of additional skills or support that is needed to make your song amazing, basically. So it's open for everyone. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, so let's keep on rolling. Oh, special guest time. I think I've gone quite quickly, so our special guests have not joined yet. So we'll come back to that when they join. Yes. So let's talk about the studio event. Now, the studio event, let's go big again, is definitely, the main attraction of the entire Pathwaves initiative. I mean, I'm very excited about the online program and the networking and community aspects. I think this is going to be a really important precursor to the studio event. But of course, we all want to get into this amazing world-class killer studio to make our music come to life. So this is very, very exciting. The studio event is taking place this year from the 13th until the 17th of December in Berlin. And we are partnered with the Brewery Studios, which is just finished. It's new. It's amazing. It's immaculate. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm totally obsessed with this studio. I'm obsessed with the owners. They're amazing people, and it's just a thrill to be in this environment. And I can't wait to share it with the participants that present some amazing demos in the application process this year. Just a little bit of gear porn or studio porn or whatever you say. This is just a bit of an insight into the brewery. So this is a SSL G4000, I think. I forget. Maybe someone can let me know who has worked in there. So V is asking another question. Thank you for these questions. Do we have to be experienced in working in an analog studio? The engineer should be experienced in working in an analog studio. So that's part of the idea of collaboration. So a producer wants to, get into the studio, but they have no idea how to work that SSL desk, right? Why should you? You're not an engineer. You're not trained. You're a producer. That's why we ask you and we encourage you to work with engineers. So the second part to that question might be, I'm an engineer, but I haven't actually run one of those studios myself, because that's one of those other things we see is that there's, people that, and people in our community, female and gender conforming people who never get a chance to run the studios themselves and are always assistants or just never quite get that opportunity. So this is what Pathwaves is all about. We want to help you, the people who want to get that opportunity, who want to get that experience. We want to help you, give you the studio time, help you to build the networks with people that are doing the music that needs to be recorded in the studio. And then we will be there to help you figure out how to patch it or find out where the signal went dry and you can't get it back, or anything that you want. We'll be as hands-on as you need, or we'll just sit in the background and have a beer whilst you work, whatever it needs to be, okay? So we do expect people to have, the engineers need to have a certain level of experience, but you don't have to be pros just yet. Cool, thank you for that. Okay, so yeah, more brewery studios. This is the live room looking into the control room. It's just gorgeous. It's a really lovely place to work and to record. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to be inviting several collaborative songwriting production groups. And they're going to have an opportunity to bring their demo to life in this studio. So we're very excited about that. Oh, another special. So I'm obviously going through this super quickly. So the special guests will happen later when they arrive. Okay, now the application process. So let's, maybe I'm going to go this way. Right. So the application process is going to be different this year. Basically, it was a bit confusing, I think, in the past. And so we changed it up so that it makes it really streamlined and that we really hammer the point that we're looking for like collaborative projects where people work together. So the applications are opening on October 15 and they will be open for 1 month, and they're going to, that means they close on November 15. So I said 15 here, but it's actually November 14 at midnight. Okay, so that's my bad. Sorry about that. Okay, November 14. And as I've said a few times, the application is to be filled out by producers only. So that doesn't mean that the event is only for producers. It just means that the producers will be co-writing with a songwriter or with a band, or helping a band get ready to record, or whatever it is. There's many different ways that this relationship can look like. If you're confused about this, this is a really good moment for you to be like, okay, I'm going to get involved in the producer workshops and the speed networking and ask lots of questions and, really figure it out before but well before the application time. What else I had something else that I wanted to say about this. Oh, I can't recall. Anyway, application to be filled out by producers. So the producers are going to connect with songwriters and artists that have, they have an idea that they wanted to manifest, professionally in a studio. And then the producer will also be then looking for engineers that they're going to kind of hire, essentially, even though you're not paying them. They will come in and will be wanting to have the opportunity and the experience to work in the studio. Okay, so this is the vibe, and we will be helping connect you with engineers if you can't find them. Okay, so another question. By V. Thank you, V, for all these questions. Will you post all info regarding the application on social media again? We will. Well, this, number one, the first thing to say is that this webinar, web live stream event is going to be up online for everyone to look at. So that's one of the reasons why we did this, so that people can check it out. We will continue to post and give more information about the application process once they open. Now, we're not going to talk about the application process too much yet because they don't open until October 15. So we've got 1 month. So what we encourage people to do now is the first thing is to get connected and get creative. So that's kind of our message for this next week. All right. Awesome. Okay. Now, where was I? Okay. So, now just a little further to that. So some of you saying, why only producers? Just to really hammer the point home, it's really about, again, when we're doing this initiative, we're trying to think like, what is the best way that we can support this kind of networking and collaboration that really needs to happen? And in the past, we've just put random people together, and that works. That's also fine. But we thought this year we'd encourage you to network with each other, because I think it's more meaningful often when that happens. Another thing is that maybe you already have people that you write with, and you just go, I've got my group. I just need a studio. Cool. That's also completely fine. So we're down for any and all iterations of this, basically. So we want to strengthen networks, and as I said here, we want to give the opportunity for applicants to choose who you want to work with creatively. So we hope that it's going to work out. We'll see. So the application, what does the application actually involve? Well, the first thing is that you need to submit as a team. As I've said, the producer will be working with a songwriter, a top-line artist, a band, and you will submit together. You also have to list an engineer that you would like to work with in the studio. So it would be expected that you've connected with the engineer and you've discussed it and they're like, yes, I want to do this. You also then have to upload a demo of a track that you're working on. Now, this doesn't have to be finished, shouldn't be finished. The idea is that you want to manifest it into some brilliant piece in using the studio. So then we ask you to just give us an idea about what it is that you imagine that you want to use the studio for. So that could be a bunch of different things. It might be it's a band. We want to record the band live. We have drums and bass and blah, 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 right? Cool. Maybe you want to do a live mix. Maybe a live analog mix is something that you really have always wanted to do and you think it would really work with the song. Maybe you want to do vocal production and you really want to do vocal session. Maybe you want to do all of those things. Like maybe you have a specific thing that you might want to do with, analog gear. You've heard about the EMT 250 or something and you really want to run your vocals through it. Like anything that you want to do, as specific as you want to be, we're happy to hear it. Okay, so these are the kinds of things that we'll be asking you in the application process. Awesome. All right. So, okay, as I said before, for now, we don't want you to worry too much about the application process. The first thing to do now is for you to collaborate and create. So focus on the online program and get involved in the speed networking, meet people, build your networks. Even some people say, I can't, I don't live in Berlin, I live in Australia. There's no way that I can be involved in the studio event. Should I still be involved in the online stuff? And I would say yes, 100%. If the pandemic has taught us anything, it's that we can write music across the world. I've done co-writes with people over the last year, people in Australia, people in the UK. So just get involved, and we want this. We're kind of here to facilitate and to support you all to just get together and create as much music as possible. So get into it, create, meet people, build networks. That's what it's all about. Okay, so there's a really great question here from Charlie. So Charlie's saying, can the producer also be the singer-songwriter themselves and still do networking for engineering, for example? That is an excellent question, and thank you for asking that. I think the short answer is yes. So, okay, for example, you want an engineer and you feel like you're fine to do the production stuff yourself. I think that's a totally fair thing to do. However, one aspect that I really want to just put everyone into their mind, just because you are a producer, do you need to be the producer? Maybe you could benefit from actually having that collaborative interaction with someone else in the studio you're allowed to just be the singer and really focus on your performance, and someone else is there to guide you and to support you with the production, with like encouraging you if the take is good or, you know, whatever. That's not necessarily an engineer's job, right? So I think that, yes, you possibly can, but I would think that if you haven't worked with a producer before, maybe it's a really awesome moment for you to explore that collaborative experience with a producer in the studio. But I get it. I'm also an artist producer. If I were applying for this program, I would want to work with a producer. Or I would be a producer for another artist, because it's just fun to work with other people, I think. But yes, I hope that answered your question. Thank you for it, Charlie. Okay. Now, we're going to cross over to one of our special guests shortly. I just want to check that we'll go through the application process, and then we'll have a little break. Okay, look, I'm going to come back to that actually, because it's like question time. Okay, so yes, very excited. Now, this is a slight experiment, as I've never done it before, but as I said, we're very excited to welcome Katie Stelmanis from Canada, who is part of the band, or is the band, Alstra, who is an amazing artist, amazing producer, amazing songwriter, and amazing singer. And we're super excited to have her. We're going to get inside some of her process and find out all the gems, how she makes her voice sound so amazing. So I'm going to welcome her now. Join the stream.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, how's it going? Good. Hello.
Welcome. Hey, Katie.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe a brief intro, if there's people that haven't heard of you before or anything. Give us a summary for who you are as an artist.
Yeah, well, I make music as Austra, and just to answer your last question, I'm a singer and songwriter and producer. I pretty much record all my own vocals, but then I've worked with outside producers in other capacities and mixing engineers, and yeah, I've put out 4 records, and I've toured a lot, and yeah, I don't know what else to say.
I mean, that's a lot. There's definitely 4 records. Wow. Yeah, it's an impressive amount. I mean, knowing what it takes to even finish a song. Anyone out there who's listening, 4 albums is a serious business. So awesome. Really, as I said before, we're really excited to have you with us. So why don't you give us a bit of an insight into what you're thinking about doing on your session, your vocal session?
Yeah, well, I mean, as we were talking about, I think I'm probably going to open up 1 or more of my sessions, my studio sessions. I haven't quite figured out the details yet, but basically I'm just going to kind of break apart some of my sessions and just break apart like the different like vocal layering techniques and different sort of singing styles and different like I guess I have sort of my own weird way of doing things and my own weird way of like processing vocals. So it wouldn't necessarily work for everybody, but something that I've really learned as a singer and producer is that, I mean, there is no one size fits all. Like everybody is going to do something differently, and everybody has a different way of recording that they're comfortable with. And, a lot of the time you might have a studio experience where the engineer will be like, oh, this is how I do things. And you have to really stand your ground and be like, that doesn't work for me.
Totally.
And
Yeah,
it took
yeah.
me a long time to sort of realize that my method of doing things is valid, even though it's maybe a little different than what an engineer might do.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, vocals, it's a big part of my music, like vocal layering and vocal harmonies and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
absolutely.
excited to talk about it, break it down.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I'm very, very excited. Full disclosure, I've been a fan of Astra for many years. And so this is exciting. And, I think for me as a music geek, the pinnacle of my fandom is being able to get inside someone's technical and creative processes. So I'm very excited about it. And, I think, as you say, like particularly with vocals, it is, it's the technical process really overlaps with creative expression, I think. And that's, for every vocal producer, every vocalist, there's always going to be a unique way of attacking it. So yeah, very excited about that. And yeah, awesome. Now I'm seeing there are a few people that are also excited. We've got Amanda Lee is so exciting. I love Astra. Yes. Good stuff, Amanda. That's really cool. Got Lane is excited as well. Woo. Also Anna VR. Yes. Okay. So yeah, super excited to have Katie with us. So you have to wait until now the date. I haven't written it down. I should have, but I foolishly did not.
It's October sometime.
October sometime. Yeah. We'll stay tuned. Check out the booklet. Check out the Instagram. Details will be coming. And as I said, that's presented in conjunction with Ableton and also Melodyne. I'll also be doing in that stream, I'm going to be doing a little section as well on Melodyne and some like geeky insights into some Melodyne programming. And I think we'll have some giveaways, some very awesome giveaways in that session, which is pertaining to kind of vocal production and stuff like that. So just one final question, Katie, before I let you go. Maybe just to spring it on you. I mean, I know that you've kind of been in the industry for a long time and probably hopefully seeing the changes. Would you have any reflections on, are there more engineers and producers emerging in the recorded industry that are beyond the kind of cis white male norm?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there are. I think that what's difficult is that it's been relatively recent that the disparity has really become very public and has really become something that people want to change. And so, unfortunately, it's not going to change overnight, because we're talking about like an entire generation of producers and engineers that maybe didn't have the same access to foundational learning that a lot of other people had. So really, I think that in the next few years, I think there's really going to be like an explosion of, female and non-binary producers and engineers.
Yeah.
And I mean, from Pathways, I bet that the future Pathways alumni will contribute to this a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so, definitely. I mean, I think it's also, we can see like Pathwaves is kind of European or continental European, German kind of initiative. We have a kind of a global community mindset. However, we're also really, particularly because of the pandemic, we're very, attached to our local community. And it's a really great thing to also remember the idea about think global, act local. And by building really strong kind of local communities, they can link up internationally into this big epic network of amazing diverse producers and engineers. So yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, Katie, thank you so much for popping in on the stream, and really great to see you, great to chat, and can't wait until October for your vocal production session.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye, Katie. Ciao. That was very exciting. So it's so cool that everyone's excited about Katie. Yes. Super, feat to have such amazing producers that are that are interested to share their knowledge and to connect with our community. So we're very excited about that as well. Okay, so let's go back now. That was just a bit of fun, because obviously my presentation may be a little bit boring, but hopefully it's also interesting. Okay, well, kind of almost there. I just want to talk a little bit more about the application process. I did notice that someone was saying also, let's just throw back to, was it Anna said something? Oh, yeah. So Anna's saying, maybe I missed it, but does everyone have to be in Berlin for the days in December? Well, yeah, you do really, because the idea is that you are in the studio recording. So it's going to be, the engineer has to be there because they're going to be running the session. The producer will be, obviously overseeing everything and kind of guiding it and managing it and like helping out, whatever. And then the artists have to record the music, right? So yes, I would say that they need to be there. Let's say, for example, that you have a song that you've developed and you just want to mix it. If the artist doesn't want to be there and you just want to have a day in an analog studio with the producer mixing with the engineer, that's fine, as long as the artist is fine with not being there. That's okay. Okay, so we're depending on what you want to do, again, we want to provide this studio environment for you to do the things that you want to do in that studio that's going to be meaningful for getting the song to be as good as it can be. Okay, so if in doubt, ask that. I also should say that whilst I'm talking about the application process, I will be doing, before the applications close, at the end, it's like the last weekend, I think it's the second, just before the applications close, we'll check the booklet. I'll be doing a kind of a drop-in Zoom session for anyone who has any final questions about the application process, just to make sure, everyone has their questions answered and can put their best application in. Awesome. Okay, cool. Okay, so just like we're going to cross over to our second guest shortly, but I wanted to just have a few more comments on the application process. So as I said, don't worry about it too much for now, just kind of get into it. But a few things just to kind of cover a few of the key questions that we might have. If you're a songwriter and you don't know any producers, that's okay. You really want to be involved in the initiative. That's when we invite you to come to the speed networking and to get involved as much as you can to make the connections. If you still haven't made the connections after the speed networking, you email us and we will, we'll be working to kind of put as many people together as possible. Okay, so never fear, reach out and we'll help you get connected. If you're a producer that you feel like you might lack experience guiding a project like this, or maybe you've only worked by yourself and you haven't worked collaboratively, that's another aspect. So in that case, all we really want you to have is a desire to do it. So we're having different kind of tech workshops. We have producer workshops where you can kind of connect and ask questions in the community. And if you show kind of initiative to connect with an artist, and put a demo together, we are there to support, and we're here to support basically the whole way through. So we understand that that's why Pathwaves exists, because we want to help more people do more of this stuff. So don't let your lack of experience or your lack of confidence hold you back. We're here to help you push through that and do some amazing work. Okay, so what if you have, another one is that some people might already have a songwriting team. So maybe they're like, I'm good to go, I'm already killing it, I don't need to take part in the online program, but I really want to get into the studio. Can I still apply? And the answer is absolutely, of course you can. So the online program is there if you need it. It's not a prerequisite. You don't have to join in if you don't need to or don't want to. And we hope that this process really brings to light some amazing collab teams, some amazing producers and songwriters, and we can help support you by raising your visibility. Maybe all you need is, more eyes and ears on what you do. So there's many different ways and different levels for you to interact in the program. Okay. Also, another one, if you've been involved in the initiative before, does that mean that you can't get involved again? And the answer is absolutely not. So everyone is welcome. Of course, everyone's welcome to all of the online events and streams and things like that. Also, though, because we're changing things up a lot this year, and particularly because of last year, the pandemic, we're definitely offering past participants the opportunity of applying again. And we also know that forging a career in the industry, it's going to take more than 1 year and one initiative. So, everyone is welcome to apply. And even the act of applying and creating a demo and having a songwriting partnership is in and of itself a success. So we really encourage. I just want to see how many songs and collab songs can we have in the application process. So please, everyone, get involved. Okay, so 2 more bits before we're going to cross over to our final guest. Some people might be thinking that they are not ready yet, that they're still learning. And so, again, as I say, the online program is there for that. We're also really mindful that the studio event is for people that are maybe further down the track. So we want to encourage everyone to get involved, and wherever they're at, join in the online programs and take the opportunities within that. Also, final point to say is that people that might not be ready, particularly engineers, I would say, that maybe are not ready but are at an assistant level or just keen to get involved, maybe they're studying at uni or whatever, we will take certain assistants and runners. We'll invite a few people to join in. And so those people will be picked from, most likely from people that have been involved in the online events, people that we get to know that would like to do it but are just not confident enough to actually run a studio session themselves. Okay, so even if you're not ready, we really want to try and get as many people involved as possible. Okay, so before the Q&A, we're going to welcome our last guest for the evening. Now, I'm very excited to welcome Hermione, or also known as Roxy Moore, who was one of our mentors last year. So welcome Hermione.
Hello, do you hear me? Yes.
Yes,
Hi.
yes. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. I know you're holidaying in the south of France. Is that right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Lovely. Well,
So I
thanks.
hope the connection would be alright. Okay.
Yeah, it's seeming pretty good, which is great. I mean, for this being the first time I've ever done this is working very well. So awesome. Okay, so I'll just I won't keep you for too long, but I'm sure that people who haven't been a part of the program are kind of interested to know how it kind of rolls out. And so maybe we could start off by you kind of giving a bit of a brief kind of intro about who you are, what you do musically.
Well, I'm a music producer, electronic mostly. I've been doing this for many years. I perform as a DJ and as also a performer live, and I put out several records. Yes, that's briefly is this.
Yeah, great. Okay, awesome.
And,
okay.
Yeah.
You've been in and out and around of creating music, working with computers and with analog gear, in and out of studios, home studios, etc. For many years. Yeah. And when you joined us last year, what was your workshop?
It was more like a kind of sound design, if I remember. I asked people to download some. I gave a kind of sound bank with noise or different type of sound source, and we tried to make some beats with it. So it was like more sound design with making like in a beat direction, beat making with sound design. That was the thing.
Awesome.
But yeah, it was a bit frustrating because we were doing this via Zoom, so it was a bit like. Would have been much more fun in the studio, definitely.
It would. It absolutely would have. I mean, and we hope that, of course, there's definitely, we figured it out and made it kind of happen, but it's, always better if we can be together.
It is, yes.
Definitely better if we can have our hands on the gear as well. So hopefully that will go forward this year. We can all be in person. So, and what was your group? What do the people that you were working with? Was it?
I can't remember. Sorry.
I think
to look in my notes.
I mean, maybe we've got some of the past participants. I think it might have been actually the V and
V and the others.
Spoke and
Spoke
and a VR.
Yes.
who actually released their
Yes.
song. So we're like very proud that in the second edition of Pathwaves we have a commercially released song to come out of the event. So for those of you in the stream who want to check it out, it is on the past events page. There is a Spotify link so you can stream the song by Venus. It's called Bright Lights, produced by Anna VR, mixed by Spoke. Yeah, very, very cool.
Very cool.
And final kind of thing, maybe just a kind of general, a general kind of have you seen any change or inroads in the way that gender opportunities and representation in the music industry? What's your kind of comment on the status of it at the moment?
I definitely see a shift, like this much more women or women identified producer coming through, I think, and also performers. I'm talking electronic music. I'm not talking on the other genres. I'm not so aware of the others, but definitely in my field, there's like a new generation of young women producers. So I think it's pretty cool, but also it's difficult to see a lot of perspective. I don't know if COVID is going to accelerate or slow down some careers. We will see. But definitely, there's like a new generation coming through, and also black artists, black female artists coming through as well, and
Absolutely.
that's really nice. Really nice to witness this.
Yeah, absolutely. Very important. And hopefully, as you say, it's hard to, we don't know yet with the pandemic whether it's going to, if it's whether it's positive outcome or negative. But
it's still difficult to see right now. Yeah,
it's difficult. I mean, I would still also say, I think it was a difficult time for us to know whether or not we should do the event last year, and secondly, whether or not our sponsors would stay with us, because everyone was freaking out and money was going elsewhere. But I think that the fact that the focus remained and we managed to do it, the sponsors stayed with us, all that kind of stuff, and people are still interested in this conversation now 3 years on, it's kind of seeming like it's not a fad, and maybe we're here to stay. So we keep on pushing and keep on doing
That's great.
it. And
that's great.
With people like you helping and supporting people that are coming through. So thanks a lot for your time, Hemyeon. And
your project is. I just want to say this: your project is really nice. I mean, be able to be in a professional studios and being with mentors, experimented mentors, and also not special mentors, but just being with the peers who are. It's very nice to be inspired by each other. So I think the concept is really, really, really nice and very special. I think So you're doing it's beyond like doing workshops or because there's more and more different initiatives that kind of. Have the same target, I will say, but the Pathways is very specific because it's like has a kind of a very professional mindset behind. And I don't say that the others are not bad. It's just really nice. I think it's nice.
Thank you for saying
especially
that.
If you have already a bit of experience. It's more for people who have already a little bit of experience, who knows a little bit what they want to do. And I think this kind of a few days together can really help you to achieve a song, a track, or an idea you want to try out and work with, and also working with other people, which is really important in this business.
Thank you for saying that. I mean, that's really great to hear, because that is the intention, and it's sometimes I don't know if the intention actually translates, but I really appreciate you saying that. It is about that idea of people with potential, to how can we foster that and help people kind of push through further change their own sense of themselves, and also for other people to change the way they see their potential. And as you say, like the way that it's everyone being able to, like, the great ideas and that everyone has, the kind of breeding ground and cross-pollination is important. That's really cool that you observe that. So thank you for saying that. Awesome. And thank you for joining, and
thank you.
Yes, and being an amazing mentor and amazing artist. Thank you very much, Hemyeon.
Thank you. See you soon. Catch you later. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your holiday. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cool. All right. That was lovely. Well, look, yes, that's what Pathwaves is all about. And I hope that, those of you on the stream and, also for people who weren't in the stream that might be watching this back at a later point, all of this, we're trying to really communicate what Pathwaves is all about. It is there's a lot of layers to it because we believe that the problem is complex and we want to try and think about really meaningful ways that we can support people that show talent and dedication. We can support them to develop and uplift themselves. So we hope that this has, given you a deeper kind of insight into what's going to go on, what does go on in the Pathwaves Studio event, what's going to happen in the online programs, how you can get involved and meet other people, what the application is going to entail, and what's to come in the next 3 months. Woohoo! So before we finish up, I just throw it over to you. I mean, I know people have been asking questions throughout the stream. Excuse me. So final question time. Does anyone have any questions that haven't been answered? Please let me know now. And otherwise, we're almost ready to wrap it up. So yes, what have we got? I'll just do a summary before we finish off. Next week, next Tuesday at 7 p.m, we have our first speed networking session, which is going to be led by the wonderful Molly. And all you need to do is turn up and get your Instagram links or your email links ready to share with people. And we really hope that many people get involved and we get lots of great collaboration happening. We have just a question that's been put through from Ali. For this hybrid artist-producer, would you suggest coming forward with what you're most confident about doing, or would you go with the flow and see what or who inspires you and how you want to apply? Okay, so if someone is like, I kind of do both, how should I move forward? I'd say that you should go into the networking sessions and see who you meet. And you can present yourself as a producer, you can present yourself as an artist, you can switch it around. You can join and leave the stream. You can change because you'll have a tag. Am I a producer? Am I an artist? You can change it. And you should just definitely go with the flow. Like you don't have to commit until you do the application process, right? And even then, you only have to commit to one song, right? So if you're an artist, but you decide to be a producer for this one song, cool. If you're a producer, but you decide that you're just going to be an artist for this one song and work with a producer, that's all good. So it's in that name of experimenting, trying things out, meeting people, pushing your boundaries. We really encourage you to get involved, work together. I know it's scary, but I hope that we can all do it together and make some amazing, amazing music and change this industry. Great. Okay, everyone, that is a wrap. I guess there's no more questions coming through. So I'm going to sign off. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. Yeah, we've got the link. Ali's just put the link in there if you want to sign up for the speed networking, get into it. Really look forward to hearing your music and meeting you all either online or in person. Have a lovely Monday. Have a lovely Monday evening. All right, everyone. Bye. Ciao.